The ingredients are there for a run to six figures in 2024. Yeah, I can see the potential for that. That to me was a big warning that if your average Joe, no disrespect to them, but if your average person in their work breaks is like buying and whatever, then you know that you're getting, that's a warning sign. Post 2020, it rose, well, roughly fivefold, maybe a bit more. So the question mark is, if it went fivefold from 24, that would put it at 250,000. So there you go. That's one for the mega balls out there. Again, if you're bullish on Bitcoin, you've got to be bullish on Ethereum as well, haven't you?
All right, guys, hello and welcome. We have a very special video here today because we're joined by my good friend and trader and analyst, Charlie Burton of charlieburtontrading.com. In this specific video, I'm going to ask Charlie Burton's view about Bitcoin. As we've seen before, Bitcoin has rallied toward key target levels and is not far away now from all-time highs. In fact, at the time we're making this video right now, we're only about 10% away from the all-time highs. That may have changed by the time you're watching this video. We shall see. But in any case, very exciting times. The key question is, what does Charlie think about Bitcoin? What does he see for the future of Bitcoin and indeed Ethereum as well? So we're going to cover Ethereum also in quite a bit of detail in this video as well. All right, guys, join us. Okay, welcome back. Charlie, thank you very much indeed for joining me in this video. How are you, by the way?
Very good. Thanks for having me on. And yeah, just looking forward to the spring and this dreadful weather we've had this winter in the UK. So, we've had more rainfall, the most rainfall since in February alone since 1836. So, yeah, hopefully we get a better spring.
So, Charlie, look, some months ago, I think it was last year. Actually, here's the interesting part. You were bullish last year. I was bullish last year, while most people, again, most analysts and YouTubers were bearish. In fact, you may recall, and I put this out, our viewers will probably know this. In October of last year, I put out a video, a members video, where I was calling for 50K, 40K, and 50K on Bitcoin. I'll put the clip here so people can see it.
All we're waiting for is an indication, confirmation of the words, that the C wave of the wave 2 has bottomed out. And as I discussed, what I would require is a move above 27,700 and 28,185, a move and a close above 27,700 and follow through above 28,185 would give us a strong probability that the C wave of the wave 2 has bottomed and that we're starting the next major wave 3 to much higher levels towards 32,600 and yes, likely towards this level here for the wave 3. My wave 3 target at a minimum is about 40K. Just under 40K, about 39K. But I think there's a potential we may move to 40K and eventually 50K. 50K is just about here. So that is my higher probability expectation and perspective for Bitcoin.
Now, as Bitcoin started to bottom out in recent months, back in January, I also called for the next key target to be reached in the 53K to 57K levels, which also got reached quite recently as well. I'll put a clip there as well so people can see it.
I'm looking for this bounce and rally to continue to higher levels in the 50K to 53 to 57K levels.
I think the odds are looking good. The odds are looking higher for a move to eventually towards that level that I mentioned, either towards all-time highs or the minimum towards these levels here, towards 53,500 to 57K, and yes, potentially towards all-time highs. Okay, so now we reached these several targets. Now, one thing I didn't expect was for the market to go so quickly, so fast through 57,500. I thought we could pause there. Obviously, I didn't get that part right. But Bitcoin is now pushed strongly through 57,500, the 78.6% Fibonacci retracement level. So we now closed above that level. We're not far away now from the all-time highs. So it seems, perhaps, Charlie, this is a no-brainer that we could reach all-time highs very soon. What's your view, Charlie? I want to get your opinion.
Yeah, I think if we had a lot of euphoria right now outside of the crypto community, so you've got the masses who dip their toe in the water, come and go, the weak hands, as we call them. If they were all on board right now, I'd be a lot more concerned towards Bitcoin, but they're not. And so that pessimism, that disbelief that, oh no, this has happened before and I've got in and then it's rolled over, amongst that crowd, they're still not all fully in yet. So from a sentiment perspective, certainly there's plenty of scope for Bitcoin as well. So I think the recipe is there. The wall of worry is there, that there's disbelievers still. And I think all the time you have disbelievers, that's a good sign. It's when everybody's all in, that's when we start getting worried.
Exactly. One warning signal I saw, I think it was 2022 or 2021, I can't recall, but there were television programs abroad. The TV program was called, Can You Become Rich Through Crypto? Can you become mega wealthy and rich through Bitcoin and things like that? And when you see TV programs talking about that, that's a huge warning sign. You were saying, I'd rather you talk about it, that there's another warning sign that you look for. What is that, Charlie?
Oh, well, just when friends start phoning me up. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's a very localized level, but we can use this. I can use. There's a friend of mine who runs a large car dealership. It's a BMW car dealership. So he's got, I don't know, 150 members of staff. And I remember before in 2021, he said, I can walk onto the shop floor or into the engineering department. And he said, when people are in their breaks, they're all on their phones and they're buying cryptocurrencies. And that to me was a big warning that if your average Joe, no disrespect to them, but if your average person in their work breaks is like buying and whatever, then you know that you're getting, that's a warning sign. I've not heard from Leon as yet on any of this, so I think we're safe for the time being. And I'm a bull like yourself overall for Bitcoin still at the moment. And much of that is due to, I think, the market backdrop from a sentiment perspective. And where we are, I do think that following the ETF launch in January, the fact that we've broken higher, I think, is a really solid, strong sign.
Before we continue, guys, make sure you go ahead and check out Charlie Burton's Gold Level membership. I'll put the link for you guys in the description. Make sure you go and check that out because you can use a special offer that Charlie is providing to essentially try out everything in his Gold Level membership for only £1. Only £1 for 30 days. Charlie provide more details on that at the end of the video. Let's go on to the charts if you have any particular charts you want to look at.
This is quite interesting. So this is just looking at the halving. So we're just coming up to the halving in April, the next halving. But for this is one for the mega bulls. in the halving coming up to 2012, post the halving, Bitcoin rose, if we just take it from here, sort of fivefold. To 2016, it rose fivefold. Post 2020, it rose, well, roughly fivefold, maybe a bit more. So the question mark is, if it went fivefold from 24, that would put it at 250,000. So there you go. That's one for the mega bulls out there. I just thought I'd bring that chart up there because just to look at the history there of Bitcoin.
So that chart is showing a potential for a fivefold movement.
Well, it's just showing what has happened post the previous halvings, that Bitcoin has risen, let's say roughly, depending on where you want to take it from, but let's say fivefold from when it was back at 20 back here, when it was then it was wherever it was at 1,000. That was $20 back there. 1,000. Then when it broke up from roughly 10,000 or so, and then if we take it from roughly 50,000, where it's been just recently, then potentially, if history was to repeat, then it could put it in that case at what, 250,000. Look, that's for the mega bulls, and there's plenty of mega bulls out there, as we know. So, but I've just thought I'd put it up there just as an interesting chart.
The question I want to ask you, Charlie, before we go on to Ethereum is, as a matter of fact, you did say in a video that we did together, I think it was autumn of last year, you did mention you're expecting a move to all-time highs. Do you see beyond all-time highs to 100K? I think that's the question people have in their minds right now.
I think it's more than achievable. I think that when a cryptocurrency, the cryptocurrency Bitcoin, historically, when it's really got moving in a full-blown bull market like it's in right now, then the expansion of the ranges can really expand. And so the potential to go to not just all-time highs, but to that big round number, big psychological level, 100,000, I think is it's doable. I mean, it does depend on the sentiment backdrop, because I think if the sentiment got really euphoric at 80,000, then maybe not. It could top off, but I think the ingredients are there for a run to six figures in 2024. Yeah, I can see the potential for that.
Charlie, let's go on now to the next chart, which is Ethereum.
I think Ethereum I've got a weekly chart of Ethereum up here. I think it's a very similar story, very similar backdrop, really, to Bitcoin. What very often happens is when they're running like this, Bitcoin maybe has led a little bit stronger, and then if Bitcoin starts to consolidate, we may see then leadership continue with Ethereum there. Looking at the weekly chart, there's plenty of scope here. Obviously, its all-time highs up at, let's call it 4,800. It's still got a fair run to go, whereas Bitcoin is already, much closer, really close, only in relative terms a few $1,000s away. Yeah, again, if you're bullish on Bitcoin, you've got to be bullish on Ethereum as well, haven't you?
Yeah. So we are getting very close to the resistance, are we not? 3,600.
Yeah.
That's going to be the prior high we made in spring of 2022.
Yeah.
What's your expectation on that? I mean, we take that out. Would that open the door to, well, where would be the next target, I guess?
I think it's fairly straightforward at the moment. I do agree that's a near term. It's an obvious near-term resistance zone at around that $3,600 area. Bitcoin could go to new all-time highs in one day. At the ranges it's doing at the moment, it's a day's range or so away. You could easily do it in a day. Whereas Ethereum's obviously a bit further away from its all-time highs. But this high, could that create some resistance? Absolutely. Again, Ethereum's had a very, very good vertical run here, but I would see if it did stall out around this area, around 3,600, and then do a bit of a pullback, I would still see it as bullish for ultimately a break higher, because I just think that's the modality that the crypto market is in right now, and I'm not really expecting any major potential reversals until we get well into 2025.
Okay, thank you very much, Charlie. Really appreciate that. Guys, please go ahead and check out Charlie Burton's gold level membership. I think by far it's worth checking out and taking it for a test drive. The link to try out Charlie Burton's gold level membership, his trading service and his trading room is in the description. That's charlieburtontrading.com/LTGold. Then apply the promo code LTGold. That drops the price down to £1, only £1, which is about $1.27 at the moment. And that gives you access to everything in Charlie's trading room. And you get access to all of his sources, most of his sources that he provides there. But Charlie, just give us very briefly what you cover in your trading service.
Yeah, there's two parts of it, really. And so we've got the online trading room where my community of traders are 5 days of the week. I'm doing sessions, training and analysis sessions every day. And so we have that's accessible to everybody who's a gold member. I appreciate that we have people all around the world and they can't all be there live. So all of those sessions are recorded so people can pick up the recordings at their own leisure. There's also all of my strategies. So everybody gets access to my resources, my trading techniques and strategies as well. And I also have an app as well. So if they want, when I'm placing trades, I do actually notify on the app, oh, look, this is what I'm doing at the moment. So if people want to learn in that environment and be part of that community, then it's a great resource for you.
Absolutely. And of course, that includes, the special offer includes access to your trading room. So go ahead and check it out, guys. The link is right there. charlieburtontrading.com/LTGold. Apply the promo code LTGold. That drops the price down for you to only £1, $1.27 approximately, for 30 days. Thanks very much indeed, guys. Thank you, Charlie. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on as always.